Thank you, Father Ranjit Tiga, for the kind words. Father Ranjit Tiga, Director XIDAS, Chief Guest, Excellency and dear colleague, Ambassador of Ethiopia, guest of honors, distinguished participants, it is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here today in this lovely campus in Jabalpur city. And let me at the outset congratulate XIDAS for organizing this important conference and thank particularly Dr. Father Ranjit Tiga for his invitation. Since 1980s, the word sustainable development is a word more and more used by scientists, scholars, researchers, decision makers, private and public planners to express their commitment to use carefully world natural resource while looking to meet the various needs of the society. In Burundi, my country, our development goal, called Burundi Vision 2014, emphasized the need to build a sustainable development. The concept of limited resource and the way we exploit them has indeed been a reason of concern for researchers who pulled the alarm bell. These last 30 years, therefore, international organizations, United Nations, importantly, and the World Bank, did all to raise awareness and push government to commit themselves in building sustainable development, giving them precise and measurable goals and evaluation plans. The concept of sustainable development first focused on environment and economic development, but slowly evolved to embrace all aspects of life. Today, many scientists tell that a sustainable development lies on 4 interdependent pillars: sustainable institutional development, sustainable economic development, sustainable social development, including, as my predecessor have said, inclusive development, and sustainable environment development. In Burundi, we understand quickly how these pillars are interdependent. For instance, sustainable institutional development implies good government and participation of a group of citizens in decision-making body, but one cannot participate if he is very poor, illiterate. I should add, after hearing Dr. Sarah Varugues, I should include poor, illiterate, and maybe disabled. Poor have to struggle for a living, have no electricity, and have no other choice than exhausting lands and devastating forests and what is in it to get food. Burundi Vision 2025 and Burundi Poverty Reduction Paper are built on those pillars and express the government will to deal with many challenges. Challenge of strengthening democracy, good governance, and participation after a long internal war since 1993 till 2007. Challenge of reducing poverty from 60% living under $1 a day to at least, and we will not have finished, at least 40% by 2025. Challenge of transforming economy from a traditional to a modern one. Challenge of improving the population quality of life with access to education and healthcare for all. Like many other countries which ratified the many international agreements on the matter, Burundi is already engaged in the process of building a sustainable development with, of course, the help of the international community, which support Burundi, which support 50% of our budget annually. Many international and national organizations are on the ground, providing support in one or more aspect of sustainable development, particularly in improving the quality of life of the needy and the underprivileged. We certainly hope a best future, but as Dr. Harper said, old countries wish to be rich, but you can be rich, but don't do well, don't do good. We hope that by 2025, we will be more better than today. And in India, I have been happy to learn that XIDAS, on the footprints of Father Michael van Bogart, have chosen to work for the integral development of the marginalized, trying to promote the emergence of a just society by empowering the poorest. I knew this when I met fathers from XIDAS from this campus. I learned this when I read a small book they gave me on eradicating misery in India. We wish the best to XIDAS and success to the conference. Thank you very much. Distinguished guest, participant. Let me again thank XIDAS for giving the opportunity to say a few words on Burundi, and particularly on building sustainable development in Burundi. When XIDAS asked me to say a few words on Burundi, I thought I could articulate my my speech on 4 topics. I thought I had to begin by coming again on the concept of sustainable development, but I will not come back on it because many guests here, the chief guest secretary of Madhya Pradesh, have already spoken about it very well. I then just speak something about Burundi and how the challenge Burundi has to build a sustainable development, and then tell you some project, some plan Burundi has to build a sustainable development. Burundi is one of the 5 East African Community countries, with Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Uganda. Burundi is emerging from a long war from 1993 to 2007. It is populated by 9 million people on 28 square kilometers. That means about 310 inhabitants per square kilometers, making Burundi one of the most densely populated in Africa. Women represent 51% of the population. Burundi has a very high population growth rate, 2.4% of the population. Burundi is also very young. 60% of the population are under 25 years. It is a country with a scattered settlement. You won't find a village, a real village in Burundi. Everyone has his house in his plot, in his land. Burundi is an agri-based economy, agriculture providing 30% of the GDP. It exports coffee, tea, vegetable, and fruit. And that represents 90% of foreign exchange earnings. It's though rich in minerals. We have nickel, gold, tin, tantalite, etc. But these minerals are not yet exploited. Gold and tin is traditionally exploited in small quantities. Nevertheless, Burundi has some good achievement in education and healthcare. There is free education in primary school and free healthcare for children under 5 and maternity. But adult illiteracy is still high. 40% of the population are still illiterate. Burundi is a green country with many rivers, and Lake Tanganyika constitutes the biggest reserve of sweet water in the world. Burundi has saved a number of parks and under the pressure of the growing population. Rainy season lasts 6 to 8 months a year, making Burundi being a very big opportunity for Burundi agriculture. That is Burundi, but Burundi, as you see, has many challenges to build a sustainable development. The first challenge is how to strengthen peace and security, how to build national unity. Burundi has three tribes, Hutus, Tutsi, and Twa. Maybe because it has just a small number of tribes, it makes that a very big problem. Burundi has been battled by a long internal war from 1993 to 2007. That has very bad consequences. Refugees are not yet, even though we have today peace, they have not yet come back. Displaced people are still there in the country. Rural areas are very poor, and social and cultural values diminish with war. Economic and social infrastructure has been destroyed. Forests have been destroyed, and government system has been weakened. Important funds from international community have been mainly used for humanitarian sector, not for investment. Economic growth has dropped. This constitutes the first priority challenge to deal with, being the condition to build a sustainable development. The second big challenge is Burundi fast-growing population. Burundi population is 9-10 million people on an area of 28 square kilometers. That means about 310 inhabitants per square kilometers. Growth rate, as I said, is 2.4%. It is about 6 children by woman. 90% of the population live in rural area from a traditional agriculture. And the consequence is great pressure on lands. And lands get smaller and smaller per family. Agricultural land are overexploited. The population structure will quickly get much more important than the economic growth. When population grows faster, it is very difficult to attain food security. The third challenge is how to create more jobs, to fight the unemployment, and to improve the quality of life of the very poor household in such conditions. And the fourth challenge is then how to promote a competitive and sustainable economy, how to produce more in quantity and quality to grow the GDP, how to balance the payment balance, to reduce the external debt, how to improve the exchange rate to get a sustainable development. Another challenge is how to transform, as we live from agriculture, how to transform the subsistence and traditional agriculture in a productive and modern one. Farmers are very poor, but they are 90% of the population. there is no or low mechanization. Productivity is low. There is practically no value added except for coffee and tea. How to set up? That's another challenge. How to set up basic infrastructure to boost production and trade. We don't have enough power, enough electricity. We have to improve roads, to improve, to provide good water to the population. What about telecommunication network? Another challenge is how to improve educational system and literacy. There is not enough school infrastructure, equipment, not enough teachers and good teachers, skilled teachers and trainers. We have to adapt curricula. As you see, Burundi has many challenges to build its sustainable development. To deal with all these challenges, Burundi has assessed its development strategy in its vision goal called Vision 2025, and in its poverty reduction strategy paper with the help of international community, especially of the World Bank. And these are the priority pointed out by my country. We chosen first to strengthen democracy, good governance, and rule of law inherited from peace agreement we signed in Arusha with the help, with the mediation of late Nelson Mandela. We choose then to develop a strong and a competitive economy. We are not there, but we try to achieve a double-digit growth rate beyond 10%. It is a target. We are not still there. We are around 4, 5. We will try to generate enough power from 50 megawatt we have today to 500 megawatt by 2025. To modernize agriculture by mechanization, fertilizer, good seed, diversification, processing. We are trying to quickly promote mining sector, and we are beginning now with exploitation of gold and nickel. We are slowly promoting tourism. From the end of the war in 2007, when you arrive in the capital city, Bujumbura, you see that there is a very big change. We have many new hotels now today. We are trying to facilitate youth and population to access to ICT. And we support, of course, private investment. As I have already said, we are now setting up an economic community with Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda, with free movement of goods and people. That will be an opportunity for our trade. The second project is to improve Burundian quality of life. We are developing cities so that people in the city are 40% in 2025, while today in the city live only 10% of the population. By improving industry, mining, tourism, and service, we hope to get enough jobs. By improving healthcare and education, we think that we will reduce infant mortality. And in that sector, I have already said that primary school is free and healthcare is free for children under 5. We hope then to reduce illiteracy and promote primary education for all. And then we will try to control population by education, by awareness, so that we pass from 2.4 to 2% of growth rate. We think that that is will be a wise achievement. Some forest, and then to teach farmers to keep well their lands. Burundi, as you see, has many challenges and is trying to build slowly a sustainable development. We are among the heavily indebted country initiative, and that helped us because international community has promised and is already helping Burundi on a great level. We have the support of international community also in policy making, in funding, and in implementing those programs. So by 2025, can we hope some progress? Yes, I think that by the horizon 2025, if we come back to XIDAS, we will evaluate and say if yes, we are right, we are on a good track. I thank you.